How to get the best deal?
I remember just the person, Nagraj Anaya, not only a realtor, but
what?
Introducing Nagaraj Anaya, Bay Area's top real estate professional. With his in-depth market analysis, targeted marketing strategies and negotiation skills, he ensures you get the best possible deal. Contact today. Visit nagarajhomes.com or call 858-880-4577. Nagaraj Anaya, selling homes smarter, faster and for more.
Welcome, one and all to the Real Estate Playbook. I'm your trusted realtor, Nagraj Anaya, here to guide you through the twists and turns of the real estate world. Every Friday from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays at 12:30 p.m. We are diving deep into the heart of the housing market. And today, folks, we have got a special treat for you. Joining me in the studio is none other than the brilliant immigration attorney, Ashima Dugal. Hi, Ashima. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Nagaraj. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Listeners, today we are breaking down the barriers between immigration and real estate, answering your burning questions and shedding a light on a crucial topics. If you have any questions on the real estate or immigration, you can give us a call, and our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. So strap in, folks, because today's discussion is as hot as it gets. Is the H1B visa is a modern day slavery, Ashima? What's your take on that?
Well, Nagaraj, I think that in some cases, with some companies, they abuse it. Yeah. But in general, there are a lot of protections. If a company is doing the right thing, it's not slavery.
Yeah, that is true. Well said, right? Like, because a lot of folks call it as a modern day slavery, maybe because of the limited job mobility, right? The second one is a dependence on employers, right? That is the second thing, as you say always, right? And the third thing is the wage suppression. And I think that talking to the attorneys like you really helps when they're like abuse and a mistreatment. I think the attorneys can help you out and guide you when there is a modern day slavery. So listeners, folks, you're one of them and you think the H1B is a modern day slavery, you can give us a call and share your thoughts about. But today is all about H1B and other alternatives. So Ashima, what is the update about H1B right now, the H1B lottery?
So applicants have been registering for most of March, and the registration process completed March 25th. So now some have already been selected. I would say in the last 2 days, I've gotten a lot of notifications, but if you are not one of those lucky ones, don't worry. It's not been announced that it is complete. Notifications will be completed by March 31st.
Okay, listeners, today I'm talking to the famous attorney Ashima Dugal, and today we are talking all about immigration and real estate. Where do you get this kind of a show where like a mix of real estate and an attorney, right? So you can give us a call, and if any questions on, and if you one of the question on the floor is a H1B a modern day slavery? If you think yes or no, or if you have any questions on the H1B or anything on the immigration, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. So what are some best alternatives on the H1B lottery, Ashima?
Sure. So Nagaraj, before I tell you about alternatives, I want to say that in the Hindustan Times, in the newspaper online, they announced that it was completed, it's over. And so I did start having clients messaging me, but U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services has not announced, so nobody should panic if you're not been selected. This process can take 4 to 5 days. Now, if you have been selected, you should start preparing your application as soon as possible and get it filed in April. You have 90 days to prepare it, but don't wait. Just get it out there, get it filed, because if there's an RFE, if there's a rejection, you can then fix it.
We have one caller. Let's take it up. Welcome to Real Estate Playbook. Hello. Yeah, hi. Welcome to the Real Estate Playbook. Your name, please.
Thank you. My name is Mukta.
Yeah, hi, Mukta. Please go ahead with your question, Mukta.
I don't have a question. I have a view. So you are saying that H1B is modern day slavery. I
Yeah.
want to go one step ahead. L1A, L1B, those are more on the slavery side, because in H1 at least you have the accessibility to change jobs. Certain companies are there which are taking H1. They will move your H1 from one company to another. But in L1, you're just stuck to that company. You're not able to change jobs, and it's really modern day slavery.
So we have one take on that. Thank you. What is the alternatives, Ashima? Like, see, there are a lot of people like this. I think that's the show is all about, Mukta. How long are you listening to this show?
I just started to drive and I heard this and I was like, okay, I need to tell this that
Yes.
L1 is like modern day slavery, because I came in L1 and I'm stuck to the job. The good thing is I recently got my green card and I changed the job. So I feel free now.
Yeah,
So Mamta, you are correct. The L1, it's you cannot transfer, obviously. You have to then switch to an H1B. You have to go through the lottery if you have a job offer. You are
Right.
correct. It is more restrictive. And the other thing is the H1B, you have to go through the Department of Labor. And there are minimum wage, there are working conditions, there are standards. The L1, you don't have that. So, you know, I will say, Nagaraj, in the US immigration system,
okay.
it's not favorable for immigrants. A system that encourages and supports accomplishments, and rather than companies, is the way to go. You need to be looking at the individual versus the company. And that's the difference with the US system versus Canada or other places.
Yeah, I think thank you, Mugda, for sharing it. And I will just thanks for that. And please keep listening to it. And if you have any questions, do give us a call. And congratulations for your green card too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, listeners, you're listening to Real Estate Playbook, myself Nagarajan Nayyar, and today we are talking to Ashima Dugal, the famous attorney, and we are discussing about the H1B. Like, see, as one of the listener was saying, what are the alternatives, right? Like, that's what we need to understand, because this show is all about educate and enrich. Okay, it's not only about the real estate. I want to cover each and every aspects which connected to the real estate. That was the show. That was I dreamt of starting it, and that's the show you're listening to, Real Estate Playbook. Ashima, what are the some best alternatives for this, Ashima?
So if you were not selected, you need to start thinking immediately, whether it's your first time applying or your second or third time. You know, maybe you have a master's degree and so you have 3 chances, right? With your STEM OPT. So I would say there's like 6 or 7, but the 2 that are more popular, that are more relevant, are trying to find an H-1B cap exempt employer. Now, if you're in your 3rd year and you have 6 months until your H-1B expires, you really have 2 options. Find a cap exempt employer, university, hospital, or go back to school and get a PhD, or look into an O1. So those are your 3 options: cap exempt,
Okay.
go back to school, or O1 visa.
Okay, listeners, you're listening to Real Estate Playbook, and if you have any questions on the immigration or a real estate, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 408-912 and 5038. 408-912-5038, and we are talking to famous attorney on the H1B, and we are talking about the real estate. And if you have anything, any bothering questions, and the question on the floor is H1B a modern slavery? Do you think, or L1, whatever your viewpoints, you can give us a call and do share it. So that let's repeat on the 3 best alternatives, right? Like, so that listeners missed out if on the H1B.
Sure. Like I said, there are 6 or 7. Maybe others might be more relevant to you, but the ones that are more common, it depends on what year you're in. If it's your first year in OPT and you've missed the cap, start building to an O1. It's not panic time. Start building the O1 visa. So then in year 2, in year 3, if you miss the cap again, you file for an O1. You become eligible. It can take 1 year to build it.
Let's take up a call. Welcome to Real Estate Playbook. Name, please.
Hello. Yeah, hi Nagraj. I'm Prasanna from Cupertino.
Hi, Prasanna. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi. So I called regarding, I have my opinion regarding H1B being the modern day slave. So I don't agree with that because most of the, candidates who apply for H1B, do get abused by, some of the consultancies and they are, they know that they are falling in the trap, so they need to be careful before getting into that, because most of the consultancies are, some of them, of course, are abusing and yeah, taking a cut of the salary.
Yeah, I think that's well said. I think I will give our viewpoint at the end of the show. But thanks for sharing it, Prasanna. And how is the show coming out? Are you listening it frequently, Prasanna?
Yeah, I do listen it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prasanna, for calling in. Yeah. Hi, welcome to Real Estate Playbook. Hello, welcome to Real Estate Playbook. I think we just lost the connection.
Hello,
Yeah, hi. Name, please.
my name is Jayesh.
Hi, Jarish. What's your question, please?
So my question is about the EB2 wait time for a green card, right? So my priority date is in 2016, and one of my friends recently who was actually in EB3, he was able to get a green card. Although I mean his priority date was still 2014, but still sometimes the EB2 seems to be going very slow. Like, are there any alternatives for me, or I have to continue wait until 2016 becomes current? So it's more towards the waiting time for the green card, basically, with this,
Okay.
with the EB2. Yeah.
So with EB2, it is very slow, perm based. You are correct. I've had clients take 12 years, 14 years. I would say if you are qualified, if you think you are eligible, look into the EB1A self petition. It is the first preference based green card, and you have to meet a minimum of 3 criteria. It is more for more senior accomplished individuals, but reach out and happy to have a consultation with you about the EB1A self petition. Your priority date would be current right now. They are processing March 2021.
So, Jerry, if you're not watched our talk on the EB1A and how it works, go to Nagaraj Annaya's channel. Ashima talked about it, and all the recordings are there. How to get your green card faster. Watch out to that, and there's a link for to schedule in a consultation with Ashima. She's giving out a very good discount for all the listeners on the Bali and for my show. Do reach out to her, and you can see which are the points you can fit into it. Like basically, you need to fit into 3 or 5 points. I think how do you fit into it? If you don't fit in, what are the ways you can enhance your skill sets, right? That Ashima is perfectly well called, perfectly can help you out on that so that he can build you a strong case. So here in this country is all about thinking of the alternatives, thinking out loud instead of basically just think EB2 works, EB2. No, there are other alternatives. That's where the experts like Ashima, talking to them, they give you a guidance so that you can go into the next levels. So watch out to that and reach out to her, and she'll give out the number. And Ashima, you're giving out some discounts for all of the listeners, right?
Yes, for the consultation, there is a discount, $75 off. And, in addition to EB1A, there's EB5 investors, but that requires a significant investment into a regional center. I spoke with a client earlier this week who was positioning himself to be, he was with a multinational company, to be transferred abroad for 1 year in a managerial position, and then he wanted to be transferred back. EB1C, C is in Charlie. That is a multinational manager position. So that's another option if you are working at a company that will allow that.
So, but watch out for that YouTube channel in my video, and reach out to her. It's very helpful for you guys. Okay. Thanks, Jerry, for calling in. Okay, Ashima, now, like, I think listeners, if you have any questions, you can give us a call 408-912-5038. And today we are talking to an attorney on the H1B stuffs and alternatives. And our studio line numbers are 408-912-5038. Ashima, like, as Silicon Valley is all about startups, right? What are some good visas to join as a startup or do a startups,
So,
right?
so Nagaraj, that's a great question and kind of refers to everything we've been talking about, modern slavery. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about alternatives to the H-1B. So I'm going to present to you the O-1 visa, which is what most of my startup clients strive to get or already have it. And if you are feeling trapped in your job, you have an H-1B, you don't feel like you're progressing, you're stuck because of the perm case, well, I would ask you to consider the O1 visa. It allows for more
Definitely.
movement, working at multiple places, having your own company.
Let me take up the call. Hi, welcome to the Real Estate Playbook.
Hi, my name is Pooja. I'm calling from Fremont.
Yeah, hi Pooja, welcome to the show. What's your question, please?
My question is that I have applied for green card for my parents since December of 2023, and I haven't heard anything back from the USCIS. What is the wait time, or how should I go about it?
So you just filed for their green card application. Are they in the US?
Yes, they are.
So, I mean, 4 months is not that much. Did you receive a notice of receipt?
Yes, I did. In fact, my mom's I-130 is approved, but for my dad, there has been nothing, on that front.
Yeah.
So,
The USCIS doesn't post accurate processing times, but in my experience, it's a minimum 6 months, more like 9 to 12 months, unfortunately. You can
it's been more than 12
contact
months now.
you can contact your congressional liaison, your congressman,
Uh-huh.
your representative, and ask them to expedite, ask them to do inquiries. That's what I would recommend. You can also do inquiries online with USCIS website.
Yeah, but there I don't get any reply, and there, they ask me to go to the, website where the processing times are. So I have not received anything, different.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to say it's a long wait. Even though there's no backlog for sponsorship, US citizens sponsoring their parents, but it's just USCIS being very slow in issuing green cards. That's all it is. So
Uh-huh.
I would say wait a total of 6 months and then contact your congressman.
And so 130 has been approved for my mom. How much more time for her green card after that, you think?
That's what I'm saying, 6 months at least.
Oh, 6 months. Oh.
At least. More like 9 months or 12 months.
So is the next step 485 approval or something, or it's just straight away something else?
Yes. So if you have more specific questions, you're happy to schedule a consultation.
Yeah. I think we lost the connection. Do please give us a call back. I think as Ashima was mentioning it, the next step is a 485, and to understand more on what's involved, you can schedule a call with Ashima, and Ashima would be giving out our numbers at the end of the show. Thanks for calling in, Pooja. And I think as we are discussing on the Ashima on the going about the startups, right? What are some good visas we were discussing in, and one of the mention was on the O1 visa, right? So what are the other things you think for the
So the main benefit is the O1 visa. That is the go-to. You can actually also start your own company on an H-1B visa. A lot of people don't know that. You do have to have a co-founder. You cannot hold majority ownership, but it is possible. So H-1B, O1, of course, there's always the L1 or TN, and of course OPT, you can start your own company. But if you have aspirations to work at a startup or own, a significant portion of your own company, then you should strive towards the O1.
Okay.
So I've heard, talking about modern slavery. I have many phone calls with clients who are very accomplished,
True.
and they are burned out and they are stuck feeling on H-1Bs, and I get them the O1. They start their own company and they work part-time, and then they do consulting work. It's a lot of freedom. The O1 is a lot of freedom.
Yeah, I think, see, coming back to our first question to the show, right? Why we don't, there are two ways always, right? I think one perspective is like a lot of people think H1B is the only way. H1B is the one of the way to get into it. But after you get into it, as a immigrant, you need to find out the other alternatives, not keep on saying that. For example, a lot of people, there are a lot of who are listening to it also, they think, right, like some of the companies are paying might be a low wage. If you think it is a low wage, then you need to enhance your skill sets, right? Or look for the different alternatives, the other visas, what we are discussing about O1 visa or a EB1A visa or a EB5 visa, right, Ashima? And another one is go ahead, yeah.
Yes, correct. Those are all options for alternatives to green cards through PERM. And NIW, National Interest Waiver, is a self-petition. If you do start your own company, then of course you cannot self-sponsor for PERM. That's not allowed. Then your options are maybe the EB5 or maybe it's NIW.
Yeah. So because see, there is like a lot of opportunities are in this country, but only thing is you need to know what is the best for you. So it's agreeing yes or no. It depends on depends on where you're working in. It is some people call out. There are like because of the a lot of other factors we discussed in the beginning, right? Like one is the abuse and mistreatment, wage suppression, dependence on employers, limited job mobility. But other than that, there are other alternatives also is there. But only thing as an employee, you need to figure out what's good for you. Correct, Ashima? What do you say on that?
Exactly. I mean, your goal after graduation should be to get that employer that wants to sponsor you. Go with PERM initially, because that is the easiest pathway. Get the I-140 priority date locked in. Then you have more freedom, because it's such a long wait, 10 or 15 years. So you don't have to stay with that one employer that long. You can then move around, and we can create that long-term plan, work with a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right when you graduate, start planning your journey, how to get the green card faster right after you graduate, or even
Not
when
even graduate.
school.
I think I would suggest not even graduate. Before graduate itself, you should start
Yes.
thinking on that. So that way they can have the alternatives. As Ashima mentioned, as soon as you get into a job, look for the employer who can sponsor for your EB2 or whatever it may be, so that you get your perm locked. Is that correct, Ashima?
Get the priority date locked in, and then you have freedom.
Yeah, that's well said. Listeners, you are listening to Real Estate Playbook. I'm myself Nagraj Annaya, and we are discussing with an Ashima. Ashima, we discussed about the H1B, and if listeners have any questions on you, like on the immigration thing, right? How can they reach out to you? You can give out your number and the contact details.
Sure, my number is 650-569-0333. dougallaw.com is the website.
And I think you missed out one thing. Give out the discount thing also to all the listeners out there.
Sure, if you have been selected for an H-1B, I'm offering 10% discount for H-1B petitions, cap cases, if you mention Nagaraj or the radio station.
Yeah, you can reach out to Ashima and like get a discounted prices for your H1B or like even for a green card. I think a lot of listeners, I was happy to share like from a lot of listeners got benefited from her thing, especially in the EB1A. A lot of consultants, like especially a lot of them are able to understand if they don't even qualify, they were able to understand where they fit in. Thank you so much, Ashima, for joining in today, and thank you for all the listeners. And all these recordings have been uploaded will be uploaded into my channel Nagraj Anaya, and do watch watch out. And you can reach out to me on nagrajhomes.com. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening out there.
Thank you.